Welcome back to the garage, everybody. Working on the old blue Willys again today, and I'm going to show you a couple things. If you haven't figured out yet, past couple videos, at the end of this video, there will be a little bit of a tour. So, yeah, since we didn't get to start this one from the beginning on YouTube, but I'll show you where we're at now, and then if you have any questions, drop a comment below. But today we were working on basically finishing out some of the cage stuff while I wait for parts for the gas tank. And we talked a little bit about it yesterday's video, but what we're doing is these A-pillar tie-in plates and everything. So that's this tube here. And so that ties, this is the A-pillar from the cage. See that? And so that ties into this plate, and then it sandwiches to a plate that goes against the dash. That this tube is then welded to the bottom, and then this tube continues down to the floor to this plate that ties into some of the rocker structure, the factory cowl brace, and the floor. There's a hat channel in here also. So this is actually a pretty strong area from the factory, but what I wanted to do was tie that back into, oops, sorry. So same thing on this side. And so what I wanted to do though was tie some of that back into the frame and the rocker guard structure. So these are the custom rocker guards I made. Full replacement step that's full boxed on the both sides. And then this is sandwiched into this bracket here on the inside of the body, and then they continue back. And what I did on the B pillar was this unit here. So this is a pretty large structure. I think it's it's the most important of the cage. It probably takes the most load, and it has the widest span from the frame, and I was able to find space for this large mount. But basically it ties the rocker structure here into here, which sandwiches to here, and then this is an outrigger that runs all the way to the frame, and then we'll get welded all the way around to that. And so that on the B pillar comes up to here. I think if I can get you down in there. So this is the top plate that is welded to the cage. This is the B pillar that goes up to the B pillar vertical, and then this is a basically continuous A to C hoop style cage. So that comes down here, and then that ties into the floor. There's a plate that ties into, then there's another plate underneath that ties to the rocker structure here and sandwiches the body. So on the A pillar, I wanted to have something a little similar, but there is not as much room. So your feet have to go here. You've got to be able to work the pedals. So I wanted this tucked in, and I did want it in line with the, see if I can get a shot of that, in line with the A pillar. I didn't want it offset. I thought that looked weird. Hold on, get you guys without a, so it's in line with the A pillar, but tucked back out of the door. So it's very minimal for foot room space. That goes down to this plate. This plate has a bolt here, and then there's a hat channel that runs under here, and that bolt ties into this factory cowl brace. And so what I came up with on the underside was this mini outrigger. So this is that floor bolt, And then this is another bracket that welds to the rocker structure and sandwiches to the floor. And then this is a mini outrigger that will weld to the frame and stay with the frame. And when you disconnect this, you disconnect the body so you can lift the body off. And it ties a lot of this structure together. There's this hat channel that we talked about from above, and then that goes to this body mount. So I didn't really have room to do a large A-pillar outrigger in this area just because it's so busy up there. And I really wanted this part of the rocker to stay. See if you can see that. If you can see, the outrigger stays pretty level with the bottom of the rocker step. And so this is a pretty common area for rocks to go. And so I wanted this to be, I didn't want to get snagged on this very much. And so that's why this is a little bit shorter, a little bit smaller. It's inboard. And so basically the rocks go through this area. And, you know, the rocker guard provides perfection, goes over here and then slides off on the back. And this is a pretty smooth transition here. A little bit more bulk here, but overall, pretty good clearance in the rocker area without a lot of snag points. A couple, but you have to have some structure. So, or at least I wanted to have some structure. So that's how that all works. This is all 1/8 inch that will get welded together into a big box. This is the last piece I have to make here that goes on the bottom. I'll pull it back out and just bolt it on right now. Pull it back out, weld it all up, and then do the other side tomorrow. So this should all be pretty similar on the other side, so it should go a little bit quicker. But that is how the rocker guard section works on this. Like I said, this is a fully structural step that's all 1/8 inch fully boxed, and then it will bolt. Still have to add back in the factory bolt that was in here. Add one more fastener like in that area to hold the fender, and then this fender, because of the Highline, was extended this much. Need to trim this off, make it look nice. But you can see the fenders were raised into the hood by, so basically the bottom of the fender is now at the corner of the grill, which is about 2 3/4, 2 7/8 of a fender lift, if you will. And then the hood was trimmed and reflanged. Still have some welding to do there, but that's what lets me run these big old 37s on here with only about 1 inch or 2 of lift. So, oh, we did one more thing. I took the e-brake caliper that we were talking about the other day, being in the way of the shock that's going to go in here, and changed the bracket around to the other side, and then moved that caliper over to this side, so you can see what that looks like with the caliper on the front side of the axle. So now we have all this area here for shock mount stuff that can go in this area. So pretty happy with that. And same rocker guards on this side, same tie-in, and then we'll just build that outrigger for that probably tomorrow. And yeah, so that's the update for today. Thanks for following along, and if you have any questions, drop a comment below, and stay tuned for the next update. Thanks for following along.